Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another exciting episode of RVing with Luck. I'm Ralph Luck, and today we're going to be dedicated to looking over the lead time, apparently it's not light time, lead time 3000 watt inverter, and I'm going to be showing you quick details of the install. I mean, it's really simple. And then also testing it out with my ice maker, air fryer, and heat gun, which should generate about 1600 watts. So I'm not going to be getting all the way up to 3000, but I think it'll show it enough. So let's get going. Okay, this is something you may not have to go through unless you have an existing inverter like I did. So killed the battery, took off the ground, covered it up, took off the positive, covered it with electrical tape just to be safe. And you can see here are the 4 screws holes from my prior inverter. Unfortunately, the new screws are a little smaller, but they come with anchors. And I am going to use the anchors. So I've already measured for the big one here, 3000 watt lead time inverter. And I'm going to start by putting the anchor in and then screwing in that. And from there, I'll be able to measure and drill the other 3 holes. Okay, I'm down to the top one. Marked this one, put in the anchor and then the screw. Now I'm going to mark these 2 on the bottom. I have to take the whole thing off so I can put in the anchors, and then we'll screw it in. Now, part of the reason I did mine as an angle is it's easy to get to these wires, which are not very long, and those wires go behind here and come in under the step where my battery is. And to lift this counter up, I need enough to get my hand under. So I couldn't put it flush. I guess I could have put it a little bit lower overall, but I was trying to use at least one of the existing holes. And since I've got the top 2 marked, I went ahead and lifted that up to get that out of the way. So I got room here. So 2 more holes to go. And I did want to cover a couple of things. Should be in a well-ventilated, cool and dry environment. I want these fans, that's about as small a room as I'd want to have between them. They do tell you you can do vertical or horizontal. A horizontal is recommended. So I've got mine slightly a little less than horizontal, and as close to the battery as possible. And coming down here, right to the battery below here, is pretty close. Okay, we got our 1, 2, 3, 4 anchors in. Now it's time to mount it with the screw. Okay, I got the positive on. This was kind of a bear because it's got to come in sideways to fit over this cap. Now I'm going to put on the little red screw over that. Then we'll connect the ground the same way. And before I tighten it down, I want you to see the wire goes on first, then the flat washer, then the locking washer, then the nut. And I think this is a 10 millimeter. It's real tight in here, so I'm going to just have to use the old wrench. So this is one thing I'm not a fan of, because getting to that is tough. On the 2000 one that I had, the negative faced down to get to it easy, and the positive faced up. I really think that's how they ought to do it. And I'm not necessarily a fan of having to use the remote, so I've got to plug it in the front, wire it up somewhere up top. The older 3000s had the display right on the side, so you didn't have to use the remote. I like the option of not having to use it. Okay, I got the grounded wire screwed in there, running behind here, and going up with some alligator clips up there. I hope that's going to do. If not, I'll have to explore other options. The remote is simply an old school telephone line plug-in that goes to the remote and plugs in like so. So now it's time to turn back on the batteries, plug them back in, and power this up and see how it's looking. Let me show you my battery compartment. There's cables coming in from the inverter going to the positive, which I really need to install a bus bar because that's a lot of wires go to the positive. And there's only a couple to the ground, but I'm going to reconnect those now. And you see I got a lifetime 12 volt, 230 amp lithium battery, low temp cutoff, because you're not supposed to charge it in the freezing, and this automatically won't let it charge when it's freezing. Some have warmers, but I'm not going to be out in the freezing enough to make you worry about it. And you can see it's showing BT, it's the battery, 12.3, 12.4 volts. T for temperature, 21 degrees Celsius. I haven't seen any videos on how to change that to Fahrenheit. Battery indicator, so it's about 3/4. Output, having it on is drawing 0 watts. Now I saw other reviews that showed just powering it on had like 9-10 watts usage. But you can see 60 hertz, which is like perfect. That's what you want on a pure sine wave. It is showing you the graph there of the wave, which if you have any flat spots on the top or bottom of the curves, then you've got some issue. And of course, AC power at 120 volts. So once I hook up this remote up top, get it bolted in with the brackets it came with, I'll be showing you that in a minute, and then we're going to get to the real good stuff of putting on a lot of power on this. One thing I forgot to show you, you can kill the backlight. And then of course here's the on-off power. So I think I'm going to go right here. That way I can guide the line, make it cleaner. I mean, right here would be nice, but then I'd have to run the cable over the wall, which I guess isn't a big deal. But I just think that's a easier location. And when I come to the front door anyway, I'm looking out this way, not that way. So let me get the brackets and put it on. So it gives you these little 4 screws to connect this to there. I'm gonna have to look and see if I should do it front or underneath. Maybe the front to hold it on better. Then it gives you these screws with anchors to anchor these two to the wall. So I'm going to start marking my holes and drilling. So there we go. It's not pretty. I'm going to have to fix this tomorrow. I'll zip tie this down, and then down here I'll bunch up the cord where you can't see it all tied up with a zip tie. So time to clean up. Not perfect. I'll tell you, I did myself a disfavor getting so close to this because I could barely screw those right side screws in. But we are working. Again, what you want to see on the bottom output is 60 hertz and 120 volts. And then you want to see that pure sine wave mark. And we'll do the load testing tomorrow because I just want to clean up, put away all my tools, and relax. I'm just a layman here. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos that show guys with electronic devices hooked up to verify the pure sine wave, to boost it to the maximum 3000 watts, and see what the extreme initial startup of some things could be. That this does cover up to 6000 watts, but I love this. Easy to install, easy to operate. I mean, it's dummy friendly. It's got 4 AC units. It's got a USB port, 2 USB-A and USB-C. What else can I say, guys? Lead Time is a fantastic company. I will only buy batteries and inverters from them and anything they sell because they're great. Customer service, great. Stand by their products and warranty them, great. So, not all of you may need a 3000 watt, but they do sell 1000 and 2000 watt inverters. They're smart technology with Bluetooth and other kind of gadgets. We're turning it on. You always want to turn on the inverter first, then plug in and turn on the appliances. Okay, that's very important. Also down here, 30 amp plug-in. So let's say you want to put in a 120 volt AC plug-in and you want to mount it, right here. That's fine. Hardwire it right here to this part. So I've got 3 things plugged in. The bad boy heater, 1160 watts, drops the battery to 11.9. Don't worry, this has a low voltage cutoff. I forgot if it's like 10.5 volts or whatnot, and also an over temp wattage. Let's turn on the next thing. My favorite, the deep fryer. We're at 1940 watts. That is the output. Still at 60 megahertz, which is important because as you can see, it's still pure sine wave. It's not going to flicker in and out and disrupt if you have laptops and computers plugged in. Oh boy, now we're turning on the ice maker that has no water, so this will have to be quick. We're at 2010 watts of output. Still perfect sine wave at 60 hertz. AC is dropped to 111 volts, and the battery's at 11.4 volts. You always want to plug in items first, then turn them on. Do not plug in something hot that's ready to start into the unit when it's off. This does have a 6,000 watt top, so it's a 3,000 watt inverter with the 6,000 watt max here capacity. I'm just a layman here. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos that show guys with electronic devices hooked up to verify the pure sine wave, to boost it to the maximum 3000 watts, and see what the extreme initial startup of some things could be. That this does cover up to 6000 watts, but I love this. Easy to install, easy to operate. I mean, it's dummy friendly. It's got 4 AC units. It's got a USB port, 2 USB-A and USB-C. What else can I say, guys? Lead Time is a fantastic company. I will only buy batteries and inverters from them. They're great. Customer service, great. Stand by their products and warranty them, great. So, not all of you may need a 3,000 watt, but they do sell 1,000 and 2,000 watt inverters. They're smart technology with Bluetooth and other kind of gadgets. I really don't need that. And this is a great inverter. Check out the description below to go to their website and also to save this amount on your product order. So, hey y'all, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. Lead Time is a fantastic company. I cannot highly recommend it more. This demonstration made me hungry, so I'm frying up some chicken wings, and I've got to go. From my cat Ninja and I, we bid you adieu. She's out hunting. Be positive, be nice, and be active. Please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it.